proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And we're coming to you live tonight from 3 separate continents. That's right. First, you got yours truly here in North America, sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining us from Europe, he's LK on S&M Radio. He's an okay guy in his 4x4. He's going to go get a BLT, and that's okay, guys. We're talking about LK. And then, of course, you got over there in Asia, you got the man who's waiting for his moons over my hammy. We're talking about none other than the huge one, Dave Koco. What is up, gentlemen? It's good to hear you and see from you all again. I know we do this a little infrequently with schedules, but hey, it feels good to do this. We got Survivor Series, guys, coming up. You know, one of the flagship pay-per-views of WWE. I think after tonight they just announced one match. Actually, they've got 2 new ones coming down the pipe here. So with that, there's going to be a guaranteed 7 matches. And guys, there's a lot at stake. They've completely scrapped the plans. They're going to have the semifinals and the finals of the tournament to crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So the stakes are pretty high here. So LK, starting out with you, buddy. I mean, what are you thinking about this pay-per-view? You hyped, or is it too little, too late?
I don't know if I'm not hyped. I guess I am hyped. It's a pay-per-view, and I always seem to enjoy the WWE pay-per-views, no matter how much we always bash them. Like, they always tend to have 1 or 2 things that you can take from them. But the tournament itself, I think, one thing that really let me down, and I talked about this on my Raw reviews, is that I just feel that it was just, okay, here's 16 wrestlers, they're in a tournament. There was no, like, you're in the tournament because. It was just, yep, you're in. Like, Kalisto, you're in. You haven't won a match in about 2 weeks, but you're in. It didn't make sense to me, and maybe they should have had some backstory, some pre-taped promos saying that I want to win this because, you know, get some character development. It just feels that it was rushed. It was, okay, here's 16 guys, go out there, have a tournament. That's what it feels like to me, and that's really disappointing. It's really lazy booking, which is what we come to expect from modern-day WWE bullshit propaganda bollocks. But, you know, the 2 semi-finals - final, depending on who it is, could be interesting. Looking forward to a few of the matches, which we'll get onto in a little bit. And the women's match, for the first time in about 7 years, I'm generally intrigued in, which is always a good thing. But I'm intrigued in a wrong way. Like, I think Raw, as a go-home show, it did a good job in making you or a casual viewer want to watch Charlotte kick Paige's ass. So as disgusting and disgraceful as it was, it did do the point, and the purpose of Raw, the go-home show, is to promote the pay-per-view. How many casual viewers now wanted to see Charlotte kick the shit out of Paige? Many of you did, and I think that they're smart for that, but as a whole, they've done a poor job building. And if I'm right, there's even a match where some of the participants are to be announced. I mean, that's when you know you haven't booked a show properly.
Yeah, what the fuck do you think you are, ECW? But yeah, I don't share everything that LK says. I think it was just they had a horrible third hour, and they're like, do you have any dead family members? All right, that's a good idea, let's go. It's just like, just randomly, like, okay, someone has died in your past, right? It would be like me saying your great-great-grandfather wasn't that great of a guy. Buy it on pay-per-view! Who gives a shit? It was just a horrible promo with a horrible storyline that, like, literally... Because the thing is, like, in wrestling, you're not supposed to, there's all this drama and stuff. But could you imagine a bar fight starting like that? Like, someone you know died, and he's dead. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just thought it was, we don't have a story. Let's do this. You know, and I think Monday Night Raw, I thought the athletes did a good job. I thought the announcing was absolutely horrible. And I thought the tournament was beyond horrible. You might as well have just said, we don't want to just hand the title to Roman. Like, that's the tournament. Like, Titus O'Neil. Like, can you imagine Titus O'Neil's promo? I used to play for the Florida Gators, and I'm just here to make Roman look strong. Kalisto's like, I'm just happy to be here. Stop calling me Rey Mysterio. Del Rio's like, I am a zombie. I am dead inside. I regret selling out, but this is my fucking bed. Let me lay in it. I don't know, but there is a part of me. There's a part of me, it's that kid who believes that your stepfather is bringing you to Disneyland, but he never is. There's that part of me that there's hope. the Survivor Series is going to be good. Nothing on paper says it's going to be good. Every decision they've made is absolutely horrible. But I'm like, it's so horrible that they have to do something good. And Boom Boom, we've been doing this for a very long time. How many times have I gone into a pay-per-view where it's been absolutely shit, and I start off like, Boom Boom, it's shit, but it has to be good. It's a pay-per-view. And then after the pay-per-view, I am just in fucking tears. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be good. I thought it was gonna be good. Overall, it has to be good, right, Booms? It just has to be. It can't be bad. There's no way Survivor Series can be bad.
It has to be a Survivor Series. This isn't like Fastlane. This isn't Battleground. This is fucking Survivor Series, bro. I don't know, but you know, guys, I should mention this that this actually came out a few hours ago. WWE released a statement about the controversial contract signing.
Hold on. I swear I haven't read this, but here's my prediction. Here is my lock of the century of the century. This quote, whatever it is going to be fucking ridiculous. You go on, sir.
Allow me to paraphrase it. Basically just said, hey, Charlotte, it was Charlotte's idea. She came up with it, and she, said it was cool to do it. And that's pretty much what it says. And guys, I have to bring this. I got to bring this up.
WWE.
People are upset about this, Dave. But let me ask you this, and I'll throw you in on this one too, okay? Remember the build-up to the WrestleMania 29 match between CM Punk and Undertaker? They used the death of Paul Bearer in that one, and they said Paul Bearer's sons were cool with it. A lot of people were pissed off that why are we giving a pass in one situation but not a pass in this situation?
Oh, for one reason only, and I'm going to stand up because it's good. Like, I don't even give a fuck if you use dead people. And you remember this from our last podcast. If you want to write stories about me after I'm dead, the only thing I ask is that they're good. Paul Bearer's storyline was amazing. Charlotte was like, I'm just going to mention some random fucking shit for no fucking reason that I've never mentioned before. Oh, and Paige insults it. No. It's okay to use dead people, but at least give them a good fucking storyline. Poor goddamn Reed. All right, now listen, that's the difference. It's like these fucking wise asses. Oh, why is TNA tournament fucking horrible, but WWE's is good? First off, they're both bad. Second off, one is because of an injury, and one is because of the worst booking decision in company history. There's a fucking difference. The CM Punk thing was a good storyline. Charlotte literally brought him up for no fucking reason. She's like, I once had a brother. Okay, sure. That good for you, Charlotte. And then she's like, yeah, well, I'm glad he's dead. Dun dun dun. It was fucking ridiculous. It is night and day. No, it's horrible. It's horrible. The difference is, to me, has nothing to do with dead, not dead. I just think WWE is the biggest fucking hypocrites in the world. But besides that, dead or not dead, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is, poor Reed Flair deserves a way better storyline than that. That was a fucking garbage storyline. It would be like, oh, me and LK are going to fight. We have nothing to fight for. And I just go, well, you lost a cousin in the 3rd grade. Fuck him, am I right? Boo! It makes no fucking sense. It's a horrible storyline, and they should be ashamed of themselves. And the whole thing is, I would give WWE the biggest pass in the world. I would be a WWE defender. I would. I'd be like, fuck you, Boom Boom. Fuck you, LK. Fuck you, Internet. Fuck you, Ric Flair. If it wasn't for one thing. The Be a Star program. As soon as you have the Be a Star program, that opens you up to all criticism because you're hypocritical pieces of shit. And I'm sure, and even if it was Charlotte's idea, let's say she's like, oh, I got an idea. Let's use my dead brother. I'm not going to ask any of my family members, but let's use my dead brother. Even if that was the case, you run a program about Be a Star. Someone in that company should have been like, yeah, Charlotte's retarded. I'm going to pump my fucking brakes on this one and not use it. But no, let's say the story is true. Let's say Charlotte's like, I got an idea. Let's use my dead brother to get me over. Let's say that is 100% factual. The fact is, you wrote that. That wasn't fucking ad-libbed. That was, no. Trust me, I know good promos, and I know a bitch trying to remember her lines. Those bitches were remembering those lines. None of that was fucking ad-libbed. Trust me, that's a horrible fucking promo. Go back and watch it again. Eva Marie, okay, she's the only one that's ever had a worse promo than her this week. But besides that, that was a horrible fucking promo. And no, it's not about, oh, I can't use dead people. Come on, people use Hitler for everything. Like, oh my god, my ice cream's melting. Goddamn Hitler. You know, who gives a shit? You can use dead people. Just use it when it fucking makes sense, especially if it's in fucking national television. And not only that, but don't be like, I don't know, just don't be fucking hypocritical. Don't be a star and be like, oh, I'm going to make a story. You know, it's the be a star thing is where they go wrong. After that, I'd be pro WWE. Sure, use dead people. Just use them in a good storyline, you son of a bitches. Okay.
By the way, I got to ask you guys this. Is it just me, or is it every time now, like recently, I'm not talking like recently, like the past, I guess, few weeks, it seems like the shirts that Paige are wearing are getting smaller and smaller and tighter. Is it just me?
Yeah, she's a slut and a whore. All of the above. Sort that shit out.
Remember when she used to be a wrestler? I think we should go back and do a homework assignment and watch when she used to wrestle in England. Like, she used to be a wrestler. Look at her now. You know what it is? It's when you know what Paige is. Paige is this, and Boom Boom I can relate. I don't know if LK can relate to this because he's a bit younger than us. But it's like seeing that girl who was super smart, super pretty, and had everything going for her in high school. You go back 20 years later, and she's stripping, and she's not that good looking. That's Paige. Paige is that girl. You're like, oh, I remember you used to be the president of the French club. Now you French dudes in the back for a fucking nickel. It's just disappointing. Like, I don't know, Booms, you're older. Have you ever gone back to your hometown, saw like the perfect girl, and she's just a horrible human being, and you're just like, man, what happened to you, Paige? What happened to you? All right. Do you want to start breaking us down, or do you want to add something else? No.
Let's start breaking it down. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and break it down. Let's start with that match. Since we've already brought it up, Charlotte versus Paige, former members of PCB, who, by the way, win the award for worst fucking faction name this year. Congratulations, ladies. I know the Triforce isn't coming up to the end of the year, but I can tell you've already won that one. Worst faction name ever. Let's see here. They brought up Charlotte along with the other NXT girls, 3 of the 4 horsewomen up to this summer for Divas Revolution. 2 of them, her and Becky Lynch, paired up with Paige. This faction broke up after Charlotte ended Nikki Bella's reign of terror. Now she's the longest reigning fucking Divas champion ever. Thank you.
And she definitely earned it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she earned it. Wink, wink.
She had to work hard for that, She really did. The amount of fucking that she must have had to do. I mean, you got to give her credit where credit's due there. Come on.
I know. Let's be completely honest. I imagine it takes a lot of skill and a lot of know-how to be fucked by John Cena like John Cena's being fucked by Vince McMahon. Because you got to think about it. If the rhythm of the night is broken, she's the one getting pounded tough. Vince has an easy job. John Cena, he's got a little bit of a hard job. He has to, stay with the same rhythm as McMahon, or the whole fucking train is completely blown. But, poor old fucking Bella McBella over there, she has to fucking just take it. She's just taking the pounding. She's getting Vince in the ass of Cena, Cena inside her. It's a difficult situation, and that takes talent, sir. All right? It's not easy. Now, granted, I've never been in that position, but, I imagine it takes talent. I imagine it has to take talent. Well, let's give her respect, all right? Being fucked by the company image guy while he's being fucked by the owner of the company, that's not an easy task, all right? I'm sure it's hard for her every morning to look herself in the mirror. I mean, she doesn't even look like herself anymore. I mean, she has so much plastic surgery. She's fucking doing anything to get on top. I mean, I bet you deep down inside, she's as dead inside as Del Rio.
Well, anyway, Charlotte wins the Divas Championship from Nikki Bella. Paige gets here via winning a 4-way match. And it's gotten pretty nasty, pretty ugly. I don't like the booking for this because here's my problem with the way this is set up here. Is, by the way, did anybody here know that Charlotte was Ric Flair's daughter? I mean, anybody?
Well, I haven't put the pieces together yet. I still got my detectives on it. I got my fucking war room over here. I got pictures. I'm trying to figure it out, but go on.
Because this is the problem here. The reason why they're saying, NXT did the best job with this. Yes, they did mention, that, hey, yes, she is Ric Flair's daughter. They brought her out. Remember when she won that tournament against Natalya and she was the next NXT Women's Champion? That was great. And then they took Ric Flair off TV and they let her do her own thing. Yeah, they go, oh, yeah, she's the daughter of Ric Flair. That's nice. But they highlighted her in-ring work. They highlighted her promos. She was her own woman, and she was like, oh, she calls that the figure eight because it's twice as good as her dad's. Trying to make her her own woman. She had that finishing maneuver, natural selection, which was amazing. That was not a figure four. It was so great, but when she comes up on Raw, it's all they talk about is, hey, she's Ric Flair's daughter. She's Ric Flair's daughter. Hey, she's Ric Flair's daughter. That's the way she's being positioned, and if you keep doing that, that's the shadow she's going to be in, and she won't ever be able to get out of. And I know that's not the case because it's been done before by the WWE down on NXT. Yeah, they mention it, they respect that, but they let her be her own woman, whereas on Raw they don't. And my problem with the way Paige is being booked right now is they're trying to promote her, I guess it's more of a kind of like they did Sable or Trish Stratus back in her early part in her career, which is more of a sexual, more of a eye candy kind of role, sexual based. When that's just not her. That's not her character. Paige is not someone who is eye candy, comes out with the skimpy outfits. It's not like Tori Wilson or anything. I mean, she's fucking Paige. She fucking wrestles. She needs. And I think it's just so odd. It's so odd. Dude, that's like getting me to do play-by-play on fucking hockey, okay? I don't know dick about hockey, but it's like boom, boom.
Just know that the Tampa Bay Lightning is the greatest franchise ever.
Until they lose to the New Jersey Devils.
Dude, sadly, here's the thing. I bet you Michael Cole could call hockey with just that fact. It would be like Detroit versus Montreal, and Michael Cole would be like, the Tampa Bay Lightning are the greatest team ever! And everyone would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's how ridiculous Michael Cole sounds with fucking Roman Reigns. All right.
So my prediction is I'm going to have Charlotte. I believe Charlotte's going to retain the championship because I think it would be silly to have her drop it this soon. And if you have, where do you go with it if Paige wins? That's where I'm going to go with it. LK, do you think they're going to play hot potato with the Divas Tag Team Championship?
No, I think they're going to keep it on Charlotte at least for a couple more months now, see how that plans out. Obviously, it wouldn't make sense for Paige to win because obviously they want the big comeuppance with all the casual viewers who paid for Survivor Series to see Charlotte kick Paige's ass, all 6 of them. So I think, it makes sense for storyline-wise for Charlotte to beat Paige. And I think, Becky, in all due respect, Becky Lynch has been doing absolutely fuck all. She's just been pussy and lollygagging around, and she's just sort of shit out. So maybe I wouldn't mind a heel turn with her, maybe her versus Charlotte, maybe the next show. Because Nikki Bella's out, because she's molesting Cena. So that means maybe Natalya steps up against Charlotte. They could talk about, like you mentioned, the NXT Championship tournament. Are they going to do a rematch? I'm more worried and concerned about what they're going to do next than the actual match itself between Paige and Charlotte. Because if I know WWE, they like doing series of matches on pay-per-views month after month after month. So does this mean we're going to get another 5 months of Paige versus Charlotte?
Oh, without a doubt. They're going to make Trish and Lita go, this feud's going a bit too long. That's what the fuck they're going to do. I think Charlotte has to win, but here's the thing, gentlemen. Go down this fucking dark hole with me. I don't read spoilers. Can you imagine Eva Marie beating Bayley, and then I don't even know who the fuck the other girl is. Paige? I was about to call her Emma. Paige beats Charlotte. How horrible would that just be? Like, it'd just be like, all right, we hate women. We get it. We get it. I think Charlotte has to win, not just because, you know, she throws her dead brother under the bus for fucking trying to get over. Not just because of that. But it's just, I mean, if Paige wins, just all hope is lost. It's like, all right, you know, you win. We don't care. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Like, I always wonder, you know, like when you're a passionate fan and you care about it and you go away, does Vince see that as a victory? You're like, hey, dude, the product's so bad, I'm just giving up. And he's like, yes, that's one less guy watching my product.
By the way, should I mention this? And I guess I should, since you brought up Ava Marie. You know, she just got offered a job from Brazzers.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. I just hate it because, like, you know what? I kind of missed when they just knew divas were whores. And the reason I miss it is because now it's like be a star. Now it's just a bunch of hypocrites. Stephanie's like, I'm a feminist. Eva Marie is going to get a title shot. I'm a feminist. It's just like, dude, no, you're not. Shut the fuck up. The best wrestlers that connect with the crowd should be getting the title shots, the pushes, and all that. But that's not the case because be a star, and, man, pro wrestling can be really depressing at times.
Yes,
I think Charlotte wins. But here's the thing. I disagree with LK. I think the promo made me not care. I think I cared 100 times more before that promo.
But right, so you're just a casual viewer. You're not a guy who, you know, has been a fan for many, many years, and you're turning on the show. Okay, they're promoting the Survivor Series show, and now you sat there because it was about 4 a.m., which is just when Raw finishes, when the next program starts, and you see a person go to the point of saying, "Look, your dead brother's a fucking idiot." Okay, now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's like Jerry Springer. You like,
right.
and then that's it. I mean, do you want to watch the pay-per-view of Jerry Springer?
But the casual viewers enjoy that. Like they want to go back.
Yeah, I think they enjoy it for free. I don't think they'll pay for it. I could be wrong, but I don't think people are going to pay. And not only that, but how many people even know? Like, it's just out of nowhere. Here's the thing. This is why it worked with CM Punk and Undertaker. People know who the fuck that guy was. You know what I mean?
That's why Charlotte randomly brought it up in the promo, so people are like, oh, okay, now I know who it is. And then when Paige did the low blow, it's kind of, why am I defending this? I
don't know. You're like, I'm fucking pumped up for this, and I'm like, I don't see it.
Like, at least they put some effort in. Like, I'm proud that they put effort in. It may be wank, it may be atrocious.
I don't think so. I think they mailed it in the third hour, hoping that fucking the dead brother thing would put him over the top. They're like, oh. Let's just mail it in, and guess what? Charlotte has a dead brother. All right, that's a story.
Better than just Paige coming out and attacking her and saying, "Watch this on Survivor Series." I mean, it's better than that. I'll give him that. Points for trying.
All right, Booms. I guess across the board we all say Charlotte. What's the next match?
Woo! Next year, this match was actually just added here recently, tonight, as a matter of fact. It's going to be one-on-one Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze. Looking at this, I think they booked Tyler Breeze, and I think they've already got him into a corner now. Looking back on it, okay, Tyler Breeze just debuted about, 3 weeks ago, roughly. I was kind of shocked because they kind of quietly moved him up from NXT, which I think he deserved, by the way. And I thought, I was kind of complaining, it's like they didn't give him any pomp, no circumstances, no videos, no vignettes, no explainer. It's just he just showed up. And I was like, but maybe that's for the best, because remember, they hyped up Bo Dallas, flop. They hyped up Fandango, flop. So maybe now, if you just kind of quietly bring them up, you can kind of gradually work them in, get them acclimated to the environment, and boom, maybe he'll turn out to be something. But they're already positioning him as a mid-card guy at best. They paired him up with Summer Rae, and one problem I have with him being with Summer Rae, aside from her having butterface, is that with those heels, she comes out like towering over Tyler Breeze. I mean, that's like, dude, you really don't look. There's nothing wrong with tall women, hey. Boom Boom loves you, girls. I love you, but if you want me to buy him as like a tough guy, you just can't have like this lanky bitch, just like Tyron like 6 feet over him. Switch to flats, honey. Switch to flats, or wear extremely high heels or low heels, whatever you want to call them. Ziggler apparently also sold his soul back to the devil this past year because he gave up, independence. He gave up all this stuff to do what? What is he getting out of it? I haven't seen anything, no benefit from it, no promise of it. And I also don't like the fact that Tyler Breeze, the first match that we saw him he was in the World Heavyweight Title tournament, loses his first fucking match. Loses.
Yeah.
That's a bad first impression. And then they put him out there the next week, and he finally, he beats R-Truth in like 3 minutes. I'm thinking, you got this shit backwards. You never should have been in the tournament to begin with.
Yep.
And then you just kind of got a lackluster. And I'm just like, he kind of killed his credibility before he even really got started because of lazy fucking booking. But
can I just add something to that? I think it's more than lazy booking. Like, you're like, oh, they hype it up and he fails, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe they did. I don't think hyping up, not hyping up storyline. I honestly believe there's people in the back sabotaging young people. There's no way to fucking explain that. You know what I mean? Go back, and I'm not an Ascension fan. Go back and watch the Ascension. That they were sabotaged. They were meant to fail. Go back and watch. And that's it. It's one of those things that it's most likely done. That sees that NXT is getting over and doing good. He realizes his time is up. So what he does is he stays behind John Cena and the gang and then crushes anyone who comes up and says, well, look, they can't play on the big stage. And the reason they're doing that is not to prove anything except job security. So I honestly don't think it's how you bring them up. I think it's the attitude of, fuck, NXT just sold out Brooklyn. Fuck, NXT just sold out London. Fuck, this is my job. I know they're good at that level, but they can't compete at this level. And that's why John Cena always beats everybody. That's why Roman Reigns, like they pick and choose. You'd be like, Roman Reigns, oh, he came from NXT. Did he really? Did he really? It was like he was there for a fucking cup of tea and then stole Chris Hero's spot. And at the end of the day, it's just, I think WWE is a horrible company to work for. And it just sucks because, yeah, granted, you had an injury and you had to do this on the fly. But you're not doing this on the fly. You're doing this to hurt certain people. And he was one of the victims that got hurt in it. And not that, but this feud could have been awesome. This feud could have been awesome. We could have been like, wow, this is exciting. What's going to happen? No, it's not. It's just a thrown-together match. And it's because, you got to fucking... No one in WWE defends the product. Everyone defends their job. And this is... Poor fucking Tyler Breeze has to go for that. My prediction, you know what? I don't know, because here's the thing. If whoever loses drops so fucking far. If Ziggler loses, well, congratulations. You got fucking paid to be an asshole. And if Tyler Breeze loses, fucking Monday night, you're going to go into Monday. Whoever loses this has such a huge climb. And I hope Triple H steps up and Tyler Breeze is the one that doesn't have to do a huge climb. Because let's be completely honest, Ziggler isn't the man he used to be, and he's never going to get to the top of that mountain ever. He knows it, I know it, WWE knows it. I don't fucking... If I was Ziggler, I'd be like, can I work from home? You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, they put it in your contract, don't even fucking show up. I'd have like an RVD deal. Well, you just call me when fucking ever you need me to frog splash someone. So my prediction is Tyler Breeze, because Ziggler could take this huge fall because that's been his whole career. Okay?
Oh, firstly, how poor job booking this. When you announce it just after SmackDown again, that's when you know you've got issues with the writing of the show. If this was me booking it, I would have had Breeze cost Ziggler the quarterfinal match on Raw. A, get some heel heat into the match, onto Tyler Breeze, sorry, and then B, get some actual intrigue into this match, because if you don't watch SmackDown, which 90% of people don't do, you're heading into this show, you're thinking, okay, Ziggler's fighting Breeze because they say so. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. When you're paying to watch them wrestle, that's like UFC. That's like UFC going, yeah. There's no like hatred between them in this main event. They're just wrestling. No belt, nothing. They're just fighting. No one would buy it, and it's really stupid. It's really poor. But like you said, both men need to be protected in this one, so they got to be careful. They probably will let Ziggler take the fall, but maybe like you said, the sabotage could be true and Breeze could lose. I think it should be a double count out or a disqualification of some kind, or maybe have Ziggler
but that's
win.
even cheap for a pay-per-view. But then I guess that's
I would
WWE.
rather that than Ziggler or Breeze, who I'm a fan of both, being hindered with their spot. So I'll take the dusty finish. But the issue is when you're booking two guys in a feud where only one of the guys can be elevated, the other one's going to be de-elevated. I don't think that's wise. It's not smart booking. No other company in the world does that, and it's ridiculous. And they complain that there's no stars when they book things like this. It just baffles me. But the match itself hopefully can be good, depending on the amount of time it gets given, though.
I think they can't build stars. Put Triple H in charge with Paul Heyman, you'll have more stars than you know what to fucking do with. That's it. Get rid of Dunn, get rid of Vince, have Stephanie just be like, I'm Triple H's husband! And then that's it. There you go. Fucking bam. Oh, they can't make stars. Paul Heyman, Triple H, bam. Not only that, but you have a McMahon there, You don't make Paul Heyman in charge because Stephanie will cry. And problem solved. Problem staying solved. You have fucking stars. All right, Booms. Who do you got winning this?
I got Prince Pretty. I got him winning this one.
All right. And not only that, but how far will he drop when he does lose? If he loses.
It doesn't matter. I mean, he's been like a yo-yo in the WWE. He drops all the way down to like jobber status. He starts to make a rise, comes back up to the top, starts to have like a decent run, then he'll get squashed by, he'll get squashed by somebody like Rusev, or he'll like he's going to have to job out to Tyler Breeze, and now he's going to drop right back down, but he's going to come right back up again. I mean, it's just what happens.
All right, let's go to the next match.
Next match, this is the first of two semifinal matches in the WWE World Heavyweight Title Tournament. You have Roman Reigns versus the United States Champion Alberto Del Rio. Okay, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this one here? They've both made their way through. Real quick, I'll recap it, how they got in the tournament. Roman Reigns was offered a free pass all the way to the finals. He turned it down. He defeated the Big Show in the opener. He defeated Cesaro in an excellent match on Monday, and now he's here in the semifinals. Del Rio, he defeated Stardust in the opener, defeated Kalisto Monday, probably the weakest of the four matches that they had there regarding the World Heavyweight Title Tournament over Kalisto, and here they are. I mean, come on. I guess we all kind of know who's going to win here, at least who the smart money's with. But what do you think the way it's been booked so far?
Firstly, I just want to say Kalisto needs to be released for his performance on Monday. Absolutely shameful, joke, filthy, dirty, absolute filth. I've seen. I don't. Thanks for bringing that back up. I really erased that from my mind. Respect was just gained for Kalisto after I tell you what, I came on here the next day after that show and I blew a freaking gasket over that because that was filthy. I mean, Alberto Del Rio has been wrestling Mexicans and luchadors for about a year and a half now in AAA and Lucha Underground. Wrestles one in WWE and it's absolutely shit. That was poor. That made Mexican wrestling look good and I can't stand that shit. Awful. But the question for this match is not who's going to win. Everyone knows Reigns going to win. It's how long and how good will this match be. That's the only thing I'm intrigued in. That's it. I think the match could be good. What about this? What about double count out for this one? Double count out in the semis. The championship stays vacant. I think having time limits back, because remember back in WCW when they used to do tournaments, they used to get a time limit. Even WWE did it back in the day. I wish there was time limits. Give it 30 minutes. They can go 30 minutes, and then the Dean Ambrose Kevin Owens match could be for the world title. Because I'm sorry, I don't want Reigns winning this. I would rather the Pope come down, pull my shorts down, and jerk me off than have Roman Reigns as the champion of your company. I know Vince McMahon might like that, as he's a paedophile and a very old one, but I would not enjoy the Pope wanking me off. And I don't want Reigns to be the... I would literally give anything. I would do anything. What would you... This is the question, actually, that needs to be asked. What would you do to secure Roman Reigns not being world champion? What would you do to yourself, to people around you? What would you give to see Roman Reigns not win this title?
I don't know. I don't know. I think Roman Reigns is going to win. They might do last second and put the title on Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose does have a movie out. You know, is it weird that when you're like doing predictions, you don't do like who sells the most merchandise, you don't do who's the most over, you don't do who the best wrestler is. You like look and you're like, all right, he's got a movie, he's got this. Tumblr girls love him. I don't know. I'm 88% sure Roman Reigns is going to win and be a face, and Vince McMahon's going to laugh. But there's a small percentage of me that think either Dean Ambrose is going to win and just to pull a shock and an upset, and then, you know, Roman Reigns has to go through another tournament and another Royal Rumble, whatever, to win the title. But there's also a part of me that, you know, I think... Hear me out on this. This is magical booking here, but I don't think it's going to happen. But entertain me for a second. Roman Reigns is about to lose. Triple H helps him win. You know, they do that old shenanigans, WWE style. The Rock comes out, tries to bring Roman Reigns back to the light, I guess, and say, "Hey, I turned heel and it made perfect sense, but you can't turn heel because fucking reasons." And then he tries to get him back, and that leads to the Triple H Rock feud. And then Dean Ambrose and him lead to another feud. And then it's two great feuds coming up for WrestleMania, because Triple H is, according to a lot of internet reports, Triple H's big plan was to take on Seth Rollins, and there's always been talks about The Rock. Well, they're desperate. The WWE is completely desperate, you know. Besides Vince McMahon hating fans, he's not doing that great. And just Triple H versus The Rock feuding over Roman Reigns as champion and the soul of Roman Reigns. Hey, it helps Roman Reigns a lot because, you know, they've already decided he's the guy. And you have Roman Reigns working with Triple H and The Rock and Dean Ambrose. Like that's the thing you're looking for. I think it's just pure money and it's pure entertainment, and everyone gets what they want, even Vince McMahon. But that's the 12% factor. 88% of me just says Roman Reigns wins clean, and they're just like, oh, pipe in the crowd noise. Pipe in the crowd noise. What the fuck are you going to do? And I don't know. I just feel bad for Roman Reigns. I have a hatred for John Cena. I don't have the hatred for Roman Reigns. I just feel bad. Like, it's just like, do you not realize everyone's going to hate you? I mean, I feel like an Adam Sandler skit. They're all going to laugh at you! I mean, that's it. Because, like, he can't cut a promo to save his life. He's not that bad of a wrestler compared to John Cena and WWE Golden Boy standards. And at times, you could see star quality in him. But you could tell they're like, be just like John Cena. Be just like John Cena. And I think it's funny because I talked about this on the last podcast. Oprah Winfrey interviewed The Rock and, like, literally gave advice that Roman Reigns should be listening to. Like, go check out Oprah Winfrey's interview with Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, and just look to when he was talking about when 20,000 people booed him. And just, like, that's what they should do. It's so weird, like, you know, The Rock might not be the best wrestler ever, but he gets sports entertainment. He just fucking gets it. You know what I mean? And you're like, that's why he's successful. And if I was Roman Reigns, you know, I think a heel turn might help him, but here's the problem. The Rock could cut a great promo. You know what I mean? Like, The Rock would be like, he would cut such a cool, great promo while he's insulting you. You'd like, this is so fucking great, you know? It's funny because, like, certain heels, when they reach a certain level, they could say whatever they want, and you love it because they're so good at delivery. You know what I mean? It's on the indie level, I saw that with, like, Scoot Andrews, and there's just people that can cut a great promo even when they're insulting you. You're just like, this guy's the fucking man. And that's what The Rock has that Roman Reigns doesn't. So if he heel turns, the problem is he's going to need Triple H as a mouthpiece. Because unlike The Rock, can you imagine, like, go back and see when The Rock comes back from injury and he grabs the mic and he cuts a promo on the fans. And he says a line like, The Rock is many things, but sucks isn't one of them. It's something like that. Go watch that promo and then imagine Roman Reigns being on his own cutting that promo. It would be the most awkward fucking thing ever. I think Roman Reigns wins the whole fucking thing. I think Vince McMahon laughs at us, but I don't know. The only thing that keeps that 12% alive is that Triple H needs a WrestleMania moment. And with him turning heel and The Rock showing up, then they have his WrestleMania moment. Because let me tell you, if it's Triple H versus Roman Reigns, that's going to be a letdown. If it's Roman Reigns versus John Cena, he's passing the torch. I don't know if I can know. I mean, that might top. Remember the Goldberg Brock Lesnar situation? That might top it. You know, it's funny. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, but at WrestleMania 24, even the mighty Undertaker, that arena emptied. You know, and Triple H had matches where it emptied. I think you have John Cena versus Roman Reigns. You have yourself a WrestleMania empty moment. I call that a Tanahashi. I'll be here all night. But yeah, you're gonna fucking. I don't know. So my prediction: Roman Reigns wins, but I think there's a 12% chance that he either turns heel or loses. It would be great, but who knows? Boom Boom. What are your thoughts? Predictions?
My thoughts on it are, it's this. They've taken Roman Reigns so much out of his element, and I think that, and this isn't spoilers. These are just rumors that WWE was looking at taking the title off of Seth Rollins and putting it on Roman Reigns anyway. Whether it was going to be, I think the plan was they were going to take it off of him and put it on Reigns at Survivor Series. They were going to have a rematch at TLC in December. And Reigns would eventually go in and be the champion going into WrestleMania, and then having whomever win the Royal Rumble to face him. So this isn't going to change things all that much. Roman Reigns that promo he gave on Monday was just awkward. I think he needs to be short, sweet, to the point, because that's his strengths. And this is just really hasn't done it for me. And I think I mentioned this on our Monday Night Raw review. I think it's just WWE have basically just fucked themselves with it, and let me explain. You have Stephanie and Triple H who actually run the company, but they also play characters who run the company, you know, the Authority, who are bad guys, and they've conditioned the fans to hate the Authority because every time the Authority does something, it's bad. You know, it's bad. But people know that they run the company, so they say, well, on screen they hate Roman Reigns, but we know that they really like him behind the scenes, so wait a minute, but we're supposed to hate the Authority, so I guess we hate Roman Reigns because they're not giving the guys that we want to see in place of this guy, so that's automatic pushback.
I think that problem, though, a lot of it is bad acting. Like, obviously, if it was good acting or a story, you could fall into it. It's just that you can't fall into your fantasy world if it's delivered poorly. Like, if Roman, like Stone Cold and Vince McMahon obviously were best buddies. But they were good actors for what they were doing, and you bought into it. You know, it's kind of, I don't think that's as big of a problem if they put on a good show. But when it's awkward and you're like, this fucking guy, you know what I mean? That's it. It's just, it's not being sucked up into fantasy worlds. And it's just, that's the problem.
What I think it is I think that WWE, and I maybe I've mentioned this before, and LK, I want you to, let me know if I'm way off base or not here, but I feel like WWE, they go, this person's the next guy. He is the golden boy. And they're going to go and it doesn't matter what happens. As long as they have that mindset, they can get booed out of the building. Well, maybe we need to do some tweaks here. Whatever. It's just they refuse to give up on that person, and they keep ramming them down our throats until they become the champion. Well, see, we were right all along. Whereas if they point to someone and go, no, that guy doesn't have it, it doesn't matter how much he gets cheered, how much merchandise he sells, how many people like him, how many people vote for him in polls, or how many people follow him on Twitter or whatever. It's like, he doesn't have it, so they book him poorly. It's like, well, see, he's not a champion. He's not getting over. See, we were right. It's like they refuse to be wrong, and I'm sick of it. I want to see a lot of this stuff fail because I'm actually kind of curious what the excuses they come up with. At least that's the way that I feel. It's like the cool kids table. If you're not sitting there at the cool kids table, then you're nobody. And it doesn't matter what you do. It's like they've reinforced the glass ceiling. But that's the way I feel about it.
I know that, but the piped-in crowd noise, the selection, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it's a shitty environment because it's a monopoly and it's the biggest stage, or it's as close to a monopoly as you can get. And it just gotta suck, man. Could you just imagine? Just imagine, like, your job sucks. Everyone thinks their job sucks. Actually, I'm pretty lucky. I don't hate my job. But most people think their job hates. Most people, I love my job. But most people think this is such a dick move. Moving on. Most people hate their jobs. And when you hate your job, just imagine being in WWE. Because people see the glamour, they think you make tons of money. They're not making that much money compared to other entertainers. Just imagine being the best at what you can do and just being held back because you're not a chosen one. It's just, to me, and this is why I get mad at WWE, to me, I try to think like that, and that is by far, I think, the worst feeling for a human being in the workplace. Just knowing you're the best, statistically proving you're the best. Not egotistical, like you really prove you're the best. Like if you sell cars, you sold 90, but Triple H sold 2, but Triple H wins Employee of the Year. You're just like, what the fuck is this? That's what it must be like to work for WWE 24/7. And you have to watch what you say, you have to kiss ass, and then you have people like Michael P.S. Hayes be like, it's John Cena, be like, you gotta take a chance. All right, I'll take a chance. I'll go on the radio and be like, John Cena's a bitch. Oh, I'm fired. Well, it was fun taking a chance. See y'all next year. Off the TNA I go. Little small note. Congratulations, TNA, on getting on Pop TV. Yeah. I don't know where the fuck I was going with this. I'm just fucking depressed. I'm so goddamn depressed that, I'm in denial. Survivor Series has to be good. It just has to be fucking good. You know what I mean? Who's with me? Who's coming with me? Survivor Series has to be good. That clip's going to come back to haunt me. All right. LK, Roman Reigns, or Roman Reigns?
Oh, I don't care. Reigns, fuck him. Fucking piece of shit. He's gonna win. Boom's nailed it right in the head. No matter how much we want such and such to win, no matter how much the masses proved it on a WWE poll, which I even posted on pricing.me. It shocked me that much. It was the cheapest plug in the world. Cesaro won by 37%. 37%. And I sat down with my parents. I just said, right, okay, you're owning, okay, my dad owns, obviously, as you could tell by the shed, he owns a decoration company with all this gimmick shit. I sat down, I said, right, this is a tile industry. 37% of the people like this tile. 18% of people like this tile. If you want to please your paying customers, what tiles would you use? He goes, what kind of question is that? I'd give him the 37% one. WWE did the opposite. They did, okay, fuck what they want. I'm going to get what I want. I like those tiles. They are cheaper for me. I'm going to go with that. And that little thing there just shocked me, and it just made me open my eyes to what they think is, I make these business decisions. No, they're not. They're idiotic. If you really care about your business, you'd go with what will make you profit, which make you money. Roman Reigns does not really make money, apart from with women. The males are the guys who are paying for the pay-per-views. They're doing this and that. And it just pisses me off when they're, you can't be that dumb to... Why put the vote out? Why put the vote out in the first place if you're not going to listen to it? What's the point of doing it? What's the point?
Well, I know that, but there's. I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and then I'm going to bash WWE. So I'm going to defend WWE just to set them up to punch them right in the back of the fucking head. I'm going to be like, come on in, WWE. All right. The thing is, you can't give everyone what they want all the time when it comes to storytelling and all that. But here's the thing. WWE only gives the fans what they want 10% of the time. And the rest of the time, they come on YouTube, on Reddit, and all that, and they're like, man, what the fuck am I doing with my goddamn life? That's not a good feeling. Second is, you could have the same effect, but give the fans 90% what they want. I used to be a promoter that would always give the fans what they want. And then it was like the biggest event of the year. And I fucked them. I fucked them good. It was a best of 5. Everyone was fucking excited. And I brought in a heel. That fucking heel won. And it's like, fuck, what about the best of 5? Everyone left angry. They're like, you don't do this at a Koco Sports event. You don't do this at ACW. This is some WWE bullshit. But since we gave the fans what they wanted 90% of the time, the fucking them was huge. It was disastrous. And, attendance went up. And not only that, but, like, to this day, I probably booked that storyline maybe 10, 15 years ago. If you go to Florida, Newport Richie, and ask them the best of 5, they still remember. Now go to WWE and be like, oh, remember that time that fucking good guy beat the odds? Didn't it feel good? They ain't going to remember that shit because you fucked them so many times. They probably weren't watching. It's one of those things like, yeah, you have to put roadblocks in the way, but the problem is you're putting roadblocks in the way of, of the heroes, but you're giving the villains everything, but you're saying the villains are the good guys. Like, in storytelling, how is John Cena the good guy? Like, if you break it down, like, this is what I want you to do. Write one page of the John Cena story. Then go hand that to any local college. Any local college has probably a creative writing thing. Maybe there's a creative writing club. Write John Cena down in one page, his whole fucking career. Then hand it to someone. They're like, oh yeah, he's not the good guy. Like storyline structure, he's not the good guy. He always wins. He always beats the odds. Everything is in his favor. No, he's not the good guy. You know what I mean? He's not the good guy. And that's the problem. And it's just, I understand you have to fuck with the fans, but it's to the point now where if you had lower ratings, but you fucked with the fans, it seems like you're okay with that. And it's just, they hate the product they put on. And that's what they need to stop doing. I don't know. Hold on, one more time, Booms. I'm going to say it one more time, then we'll go to the next match. Survivor Series has to be good, right? There's just no way it can be bad. No, it has to be good. It just has to be. There's no way. Booms, let's wrap up these. What do we got? We got a couple live comments on Twitter and all that. Let me just say something real quick. At C_Dana0326, it's not us that's stopping the YouTube comments. That's Google and YouTube. We love live comments. We love you being part of the conversation. It's just they're trying to phase out Google+. So the first step of phasing out Google+ is like, I know, let's not give them live comments on YouTube. It makes no fucking sense. And you know what? It actually does make sense. They decided as a business they're going to fuck over their users because they failed. They're mad. They're mad that not enough people used Google+. So what they're doing is they're punishing everyone that did use Google+. Bravo! Bravo! Yeah, Google! Yeah, YouTube! Booms, next match, and we'll go to some live comments.
Next match here is the second semifinals match. We have...
we just kind of skipped the tournament. We know it's going to be Dean and that. I mean, is there anything you want to add? Because, I don't mean to cut you off, but we just ran on a rant how it's going to be Dean.
Well, there are rumors that there may be... The finals is going to be Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, but there's serious talks of since Seth Rollins went down and obviously changed plans, there's possibility for Seth Rollins to actually, not Seth Rollins, excuse me, Dean Ambrose to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just a rumor, though. That's not a spoiler. That's a rumor. So it's kind of like 50-50 here. To me, let me ask you this, and just to kind of make this things interesting here, can you see something like either Dean Ambrose, he turns heel, and he becomes the Authority's new guy, or do you see something like Dean Ambrose wins, Roman Reigns gets pissed off, he turns heel because he's tried to play to the fans, and everywhere down the line he's been screwed over. He got screwed over with the remember because he got booed out of the building at the Royal Rumble last year. His match got interrupted with Brock Lesnar. He was on the path to win the championship, but then Seth Rollins gets hurt, so it's like I've had roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and I'm sick of it, and he turns heel. Can you see either one of those scenarios playing out?
Yeah, I think there's a right way and a wrong way. And the right way is just Dean Ambrose winning. The wrong way is Roman Reigns not turning heel and being face. Pretty much, if Roman Reigns wins the tournament, beats the odds, and he's a face, and he says, "You could do it, do your homework, kids," anything besides that is going to be better. If he turns heel, that's better. If Dean Ambrose wins the title, that's better. If Kevin Owens fucking throws popcorn at a kid, that's better. Any scenario that isn't Roman Reigns, do your homework, kids, I beat the odds, wink, any scenario that's not that is better.
I have a cheeky fancy booking that I just came up with. So you have Owens beat Ambrose, okay? You then after the match you have Owens making a statement to Reigns, have Owens powerbomb Ambrose onto the apron. Then have Ambrose taken out. You're thinking, oh shit, no, he's gone. Okay, see you later, catch your ass down the line. And then you have Owens versus Reigns in the final. The ref then bumps. Okay, you got to have in the world title match. You have to have a ref bump, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Hopefully a real bump. Did you see how horrible that ref bump was on Monday Night Raw?
Filth. Anyway, then you have Ambrose come out. You think, okay, he's going to go after Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose are going to have a program for the IC title. Reigns is going to get the win. Happy days. He goes to get a chair, goes to hit Owens, but then boom, nails Roman Reigns in the head. If this was fancy booking completely, Reigns has colour. Okay, Reigns has to have colour. Ambrose walks off with his head in his hand like, what have I done? But then at the same time, like, fuck it. Owens covers, new champion. You can then go on Reigns versus Ambrose for the next few months. You can have Owens versus whoever the fuck you want to do. I don't know the fuck else they've got. That's a good point. See, that's a stumper. They have that little stars that it's literally Reigns or Ambrose has to win, otherwise Owens has no one to feud with. I guess you could do Owens versus ADR or Owens Breeze or Ziggler. I don't know, but that's just me in my head.
Owens ADR fucking feud be.
That's
Owens would be bumping like crazy, and then there'd be Zombie Del Rio, like I have no soul.
I'm just in my head. I'm trying to come up with any solution to not have Reigns win the belt. I'm in denial. I'm in denial right now. I don't want Reigns to win that much. I'm coming up with.
My thing is, I'm gonna remember that, and like John Cena will run out and have Money in the Bank, and it don't even make sense. It's just like, hey, I stole this from Sheamus. Oh man, and yeah, we can also have the cash in and all that. Man, how
cash in Sheamus Owens? Could be good.
Oh man, why did Sheamus have to win Money in the Bank? Like the thing is, like, he's gonna run down and be like, I'm gonna cash it in, and you're just gonna hear, like, it's just, oh man. All right, let's go.
About it. They like fucking with the fans. So if they have Owens win, okay, the fans everywhere are gonna go fucking ballistic. Yeah, Kevin Owens, love Kevin Owens, and then have Sheamus cash in. Imagine the feeling in your stomach of hatred. Not only are you so happy that Reigns didn't win, you're so happy Owens won. And then you have that feeling that Sheamus won. Oh, the hatred would be unbearable.
See, I wonder if the fans, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but do you think the fans still care that much? Like, yeah, I remember Daniel Bryan, how much we cared. Like, imagine they redo Daniel Bryan and Owens wins. I mean, alright, Daniel Bryan being screwed by Triple H, they were like, oh my god, can you believe it? That was a reaction. Now imagine Sheamus screws Roman Reigns. Post-show. Like, You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I think they're trying to recreate magic that's just not there. Booms. Do you even have a reaction? Sheamus comes in, cashes in, beats Roman Reigns. Are you just like, it happens?
I'm just like, what the fuck? This is the dumbest damn ending ever.
Well, yeah. All right, live comments, or do we have more matches? I think there's a Survivor Series pre-show match they added.
Yeah, there's a traditional 5-on-5 match. They have not said who's going to be in it, and I think that could be half the fun. Okay, Dave, put your Booker cap on. What 5-on-5 do you book?
I would have WWE guys that are kind of popular, and then I'd have them come out, and then I would have Team NXT come out to take them on. Like, okay. I think that's the only thing that would be exciting. Like, I would have, like, I don't know, if there's like Randy Orton, I don't know, because the thing is, you don't know who's missing and who's hurt. You know what I mean? But like, if you have 5 WWE guys, and they have to be kind of high. You know what I mean? Like, not high like RVD, but high up on the card. Like, just rank the top 5 WWE guys that are not on the card that are in the building. You know what I mean? And that's probably not that good of a fucking selection. But 5 WWE guys, maybe older guys, and then be like, oh, that's Team WWE. Who are they going against? And then Team TNA shows up with Austin. I'm just kidding. Then it's just Team NXT. And I think that's the only thing that makes this even enjoyable.
I think we'll get New Day and the Ascension versus Dudley, Cesaro, and Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I would definitely put the New Day in it. I would definitely put Cesaro in there, not necessarily on the same team, but I would put him in there.
Cesaro, Dudley's, Lucha Dragons versus Ascension, New Day. That's 5. That's 5-on-5. I think that can happen.
All right, well, that sounds about right. You're pretty good at predicting what WWE's going to do. I'm over here like, yeah, there's an NXT invasion, and man,
probably what they'll do is they'll probably put the Usos, Cesaro, God, who else?
Imagine Lucha Dragons, maybe.
Yeah, they could probably do
Sheamus or Barrett. We haven't got Sheamus or Barrett either, so maybe Sheamus and Barrett instead of the Ascension.
Now they'll probably put Neville in there too. So Neville would be my 4th. Who would I have for my 5th one? I think you could really just put it with anybody. I think you could put like Ryback right there. So there's your 5 versus all members of the New Day, and then like maybe Sheamus and Barrett.
Good job, gentlemen. Good job, gentlemen. We now mastered out We should just create a spoiler then, like these dirty Dave Meltzer. We should have just said breaking news spoiler. That's the match that's going to happen.
All right. So there we go. Any more matches, or are we head to live comments?
Well, we got the Wyatt family versus the Brothers of Destruction. This is horrible, and let me tell you why. And I said this on Monday Night Raw, and I think it bears repeating here. They killed this match before it even started because it started out kind of interesting. They had the Wyatt family kind of kidnap the Brothers of Destruction at Hell in a Cell at various points, and then Bray Wyatt comes out like, I stole the Undertaker's powers, all this stuff. And I was like, okay, that's kind of intriguing. Maybe we can do something with this. And then the Brothers of Destruction show up, and they beat the shit out of all 4 members of the Wyatt family at one time, showing no effects whatsoever. Absolutely none. Had no effect on them whatsoever. And now it's going to be the Brothers of Destruction. They didn't bother to find 2 more guys to have a 4-on-4 Survivor Series style match. No, they didn't bother to do that. It's going to be the Brothers of Destruction versus any 2 members of the Wyatt family that Bray Wyatt chooses. And I'm like, why the fuck is the Wyatt family fighting fair? Why? What incentive do they? No, it makes no sense. It's horrible.
The whole thing is just absolutely horrible. Matter of fact, I would say this. I'd rather see a 15-minute documentary on what The Undertaker means to WWE than that actual match. Like, if they said, hey, we're celebrating The Undertaker, and they had like 3 or 4 10-minute video packages highlighting his career, I would think that would be better than the match. The match is god-awful. And this is the fast-forward match of the night. Like, who the fuck are really going to be paying attention? I guarantee, like, I wish you could measure this. I'm sure you could if you were smarter than me. I guarantee Twitter and Facebook, as far as wrestling fans go, will skyrocket it. Like, yeah, I'm an Undertaker fan. Oh my goodness, did you see the new South Park? Yeah, I did. Like, they're not going to pay attention. No one's paying attention to this shit. It's kind of like, it is what it is. And it's just, and none of that, but it could have been so good. And I chose not to. It's like, they go out of their way to be like, you know what, let's make this shitty. And congratulations, WWE, you delivered. You made it shitty. All right, so Survivor Series has to be good. That's my final thoughts. Do we even give a shit? Let's be completely honest. Do we give a shit who wins?
I don't, because, okay, if the Brothers of Destruction wins, so what? If the Wyatt family wins, so what? And I agree with you, Dave. This is something you keep saying with Bray Wyatt is he always loses, so I can't take him seriously. He cuts, I mean, he's a good guy. He does some good promos. He's got a great character, but I can't take him seriously. Why? Because he always fucking loses.
And here's the thing, like, let's say the Wyatts win. It's just like, okay, you beat Undertaker. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's handled so badly that you just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a new member of the Wyatt family. Who gives a shit? Oh, the Wyatts beat The Undertaker and Kane. Who gives a shit? The Brothers of Destruction destroyed the Wyatts. Who gives a shit? Like, this should be called Who Gives a Shit Mania. And granted, I would rather just tell me about how fucking great The Undertaker is. You know? As a matter of fact, I would even go far as show a replay of him versus Shawn Michaels. There you go. We're done. Matter of fact, show a replay of him versus Big Show and that Australian fucker. Remember that handicap match? Show a replay of that. Just be like, here's Undertaker versus an Australian fucker and Big Show, and the Australian fucker got lost in the shower or something. I don't know. That was a horrible WrestleMania match. Replay that. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? And the thing is, it's not a knock on Undertaker. Like, yeah, I respect you. 25 years. Matter of fact, I don't think, if it wasn't for Undertaker's 25 years, be there for him, I don't think anyone would watch this fucking pay-per-view. Not a goddamn soul. I mean, can you just imagine Survivor Series? I'm just seeing the future here. I'm gonna be like the Flash. I have that computer. I can see the future. Here's KocoSports headline. Survivor Series review. Roman Reigns wins. Like, of course. What the fuck, man? Of course. Anyway, well, I'm going to go through some live comments, and then we're going to wrap this up because I got to go to the jobs that I absolutely love. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And that's the sad part is, like, sometimes I'll be watching WWE and be like, man, I wish I was at work. That's never a good sign, WWE. Never a good sign. Because Boom Boom was the same way. Boom Boom, like, his schedule changed, and he can't watch Raw, and, like, you were like, that's kind of a good thing, maybe. It's a good thing I don't have to watch Raw. D-Rocks, at D_Rocks, he burned a bunch. If NXT does Eva Marie versus Bayley in London, I bet they never come back. That's a possibility. I know that they're doing it next week on television.
You know what I'm willing to bet? I'm almost willing to bet that they put her in almost like a handicap match.
Yeah.
Eva Marie and like Nia Jax.
Yeah. So, I'm just not looking forward to any of that. D-Rocks makes fun of me a little bit, but we read all the tweets. Dave, you know what's sad? And he spelled it said. I'm that YouTube guy. I hate that. Like, the YouTube guy's like, I hope you fucking die of cancer. And you're like, you put an S in cancer. I just became the guy I fucking hate. Dave, you know what's sad? The fact you never heard of Sumi Saki. And then she said, I should look it up. Here's the thing. I have a really bad memory, and I hire people. Real talk, D-Rocks. I hire people to be right-hand men. Like, when I was in wrestling, James Legend was my memory. I'd be like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? I'm really bad with names and faces, and I feel that it's easier for me to be like, oh, I don't remember someone, than say I remember them and fake the funk. Actually, embarrassing story, Sumi Saki has worked for me before. I've had people, and I get in trouble because D-Rock's like, do you know this person? And I'm always like, no, I don't. And then, like, I get a Facebook message, be like, bitch, you fucking know me! And I'm like, all right, sorry, I guess I do know you. Like, even this week, and I think last week, D-Rock's like, do you know this girl? I'm like, no, I don't know her. And my co-host, Jeff, was like, Dave, she works for your company. you should fucking know her, Dave. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I just have a really bad memory, and Boom Boom knows about this. And that's why a lot of times Boom Boom, Boom Boom's big job is to remember names. I'm like, that guy who runs WWE? But yeah, actually, Sumi Saki has worked for me before, and he makes fun of me because I never heard of Chris Seinberg. Yeah, a lot of times I have a bad memory. And I try to, like, go with, I don't know who the people are. But he says he's just busting my balls because we're buddies. Well, think of my feelings! Think of my feelings, D-Rock! I don't know where I was going with that. At C_Dana0326 says, just remember the last time WWE let the most over guy been the true focal point was the Stone Cold Steve Austin, only because of the curtain call Triple H. Yeah, and you also had The Rock. The Attitude Era, though, was a special time for WWE because you had WCW knocking on the doors, and, like, because I don't think the Attitude Era ever happens if WCW doesn't punch him in the face. I just don't. I think Hulk Hogan, there's another Hulk Hogan, and that's the thing. Like, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love The Rock. I'm not as big fan as some WWE fans are, but I respect them. But here's the thing. I don't think none of those guys exists if there's no WCW, if there's no ECW. I don't think there is a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't think there's an Attitude Era. I don't think there's The Rock. Because think about it. Let's go back in time. The Rock turns heel because he's like, oh, man, I got to be myself. I got to get over. That doesn't happen in today's WWE. If The Rock goes out there, like, let's say Dwayne Johnson is there right now, and it's in this atmosphere, and he's like, oh, man, I hurt my leg, and like, hey, dude, the fans are booing me. I want to come back and be a heel. Give me 2 minutes on the mic so I can fucking show who I really am. Vince says no. Just keep smiling. So The Rock never happens. Stone Cold never happens. And that's why it pisses me off when a Michael P.S. Hayes or a Road Dogg or a John Cena says, oh, you got to take chances. Fuck you, you fucking pieces of shit. Don't fucking lie to people. Don't lie. I think that's what makes me angry about WWE. If they just said they were pieces of shit, I would just back off. I'd be like, hey, dude, I fucking like your product. You are pieces of shit. But when they have be a star, when they say stuff like, oh, you just got to go out there and get it. Like, I got in trouble because FCW, I laughed. They were giving, like, a motivational speech at FCW, and they're like, you got to get over on your own. And I just laughed. I was like, dude, don't give them bad advice. And they're just like, Dave, leave the fucking locker room. Well, sorry, sir. Good day, gentlemen. Good luck on that advice. Yep, and everyone in that fucking locker room that got that advice, no longer in WWE. And some of them had really famous fathers. I simultaneously watched the podcast and Tenryu's retirement show. Yeah, that was kind of... You know what was cool about that show? First off, there's a lot of older guys, so, they're not going to go as much as, New Japan guys. But the one thing that I really loved about his retirement show is just the atmosphere. Like, you got to see what Japan fans act like in the prime. And a lot of people think the prime of Japan wrestling is now, and you would be wrong. It was an amazing feeling, amazing atmosphere, and I think the atmosphere of that event was better than the event. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Who works for you? Boom Boom! Sassy Stephanie? I don't know who Sassy Stephanie is. Hold on, I bet you I do. Fuck it. Sassy Stephanie, Wrestler Remix, Champion co-host, Fireball Run. Sassy Stephanie. Let me see. I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to say no, but if Sassy Stephanie fucking tweets me later, that's on you, D-Rocks. That's on you. I got a horrible memory. I don't fucking know who's worked for me. I've fucking dealt with thousands of fucking wrestlers, and D-Rock gives me trivia questions, and my go-to answer is, I don't know. And then later, I get a fucking email going, how the fuck don't you know me? I fucking dove off a goddamn skyscraper for you. And I'm like, oh, of course you did. You see what happened was, D-Rock's like the fucking ultimate shoot interview that gets me heat. I need James Legend or one of those guys that used to run the business with me to be like, oh yeah. She worked with Dave, and her and Dave got along great. I'm gonna say I have no idea. This is from Andy Paps on Facebook. Do we know the teams for the traditional Survivor Series match yet? No, not as of right now, and our three brains. And the good thing about Pop TV, I was talking about Pop TV and TNA, is sorry I'm talking TNA on a WWE show. It's okay. Once we're done, it's Q&A time. But fuck WWE Survivor Series. It's gonna suck. I don't want it
but
to
it's
suck.
gotta be
It's
good.
going to suck. It's gotta be good. I'm not even saying it's gonna be good. I'm saying it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. There's no way they're gonna put on a shitty Survivor Series. Not now. They need to put on a good event. I feel it. I feel it in my delusional fucking bones. What a disappointing year of pro wrestling this has been. Back to Pop TV. They already have another wrestling show, and they wanted TNA a lot more than WGN did. Well, that's good. Hopefully it works out.
That was actually Paragon Pro Wrestling. I think this week is their last week on that network.
Oh shit! So they're the ECW of Pop. Poor guys. Poor guys. Fuck, man. I heard good things about that company. Usos, Ryback, Neville, and Cesaro versus New Day, Stardust, and Big Show. Oh god, Big Show.
I forgot about Big Show. Oh, bitch. Good shout. Damn.
The artist formerly known as Kenny Omega. That's a nice line. Will be at 5 Barrel Wrestling next month. Sweet. Hopefully you get the Kenny Omega who can wrestle and not the Kenny Omega. I mean, here's the thing. If Scott Hall fucking shows up completely plastered, rolls in the ring, and says, I'm Kenny Omega, does anyone even fucking question it? They're just like, of course he's Kenny Omega. Why the fuck wouldn't he be Kenny Omega? I love Kenny Omega, but I'm going to say I've never been let down by a pro wrestler going to New Japan more than Kenny Omega. More than Kenny Omega. I mean, MVP was pretty bad. I was expecting great things, and I love MVP. I was expecting great things at MVP. But just Kenny Omega, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even want to say I hate Kenny Omega. I'm going to do the mom thing. I just want to be like, here's my message to Kenny Omega. Kenny, I'm not even angry. I'm just disappointed. You know what I mean? You ever got one of those from your mom? I don't really, never did, but because my mom was always like, you're a horrible person. That's why we gave you away. I was like, oh, I didn't know they made that in a Hallmark card, Mom. Thanks. Anyway, oh, man, does Kenny Omega let me down? And that's the local indie I may or may not work for. Sweet. I don't know if I was supposed to read that online. He's like, I'm working on a deal, trying to get some deals. And we're 6-1, baby. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Sorry that there's no live comments on YouTube. Once again, that's not me. It's them. And someone keeps sending me a message on LinkedIn. Does anyone really still use LinkedIn? Like, I use LinkedIn when I get enough emails of people saying, like, because I connected it to my email, and, like, LinkedIn's like, you gotta see this! And then I go, and they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Why do I even have a LinkedIn? I don't know. I got to figure out how to use it.
Well, it was like a professional thing, and the only thing I'm doing with it now is I joined like a class action lawsuit against them.
Really? There's a class action lawsuit against LinkedIn?
Yeah, like it's like right when you, well, it's like years ago. I think right around 07, somewhere in that ballpark. They were spamming users with like a lot of emails, so some people got together and filed a class action, and I was eligible, so I was like, fuck it, I may get like $12 out of this, so fuck it, why not? So there's a settlement.
I always ignore that stuff. I didn't know that people really want that stuff. I'm just such a cynic. They're like, do you want to sue the guy who stabbed you? I'm like, I'm not gonna win. They're like, no, we have video footage and a confession. I'm like, shut up, lawyer. Anyway, well, this got off topic. Survivor Series, it's got to be good, right, guys? It's just got to be. LK, I know Boom Boom's working. LK, are you going to be the man that will join me as co-host when I fucking cry about Survivor Series?
Yes, you'll have to give me 5 minutes because I'm watching it with a friend down the road. So literally 5 minutes. You've got to give me 5 minutes. So 5 minutes after the show ends, I'll rush home. I'll get in the shed and I'll set up. The laptop will already be ready. I'll email, but literally you have to let me run home. All right, you got to let me run home. All right.
I just like that line. Just give me 5 minutes and let me go run to the shed.
Run to the shed. We're fucking professional. You think that phrase has ever been used on ESPN? Let me just run to the shed. Don't worry, got everything set up.
Don't give the heat to the shed yet. This thing is like the greatest.
Dude,
thing
I
in
love
the
this
world.
shed. It looks nice as fuck. I wish I had a shed.
Dude, 24/7 I could come out here. It's currently 4:20 a.m. in the morning. And I'm shouting my lungs out.
It's like the ultimate man cave.
It is.
Dude, I want a shed. I fucking live in this nice condo that's fucking shot to the goddamn sky. Like I like live in a fucking Jetsons building. I like fucking high five fucking, I don't know, Leroy Jensen. Moving on. I was a Flintstones guy. Anyway, Astro is their dog. I fucking go out, high five Astro. That's how fucking high up I live. But I trade it all in for a nice shed with a nice broadcasting thing. Either that, or I just need to get a soundproof room or something. I don't know.
It's not a shed. It's my HQ. We will not call it. It'll be known as the HQ, not the shed. All right?
No. We gotta call it the ProWrestling.me UK headquarters.
Boom. There we go.
Alright, so welcome to the UK headquarters. Anyway, yeah, because the funny thing is, like, I run internet companies, so like sometimes people will come and they expect to be like in this nice building at ESPN, and it's like 3 dudes in their underwear, like typing constantly, and they're like, "Oh, this is your business?" And I'm like, "Yes, there's not much overhead." And they're like, "Well, you can have a little bit of overhead. Like, it's okay to have just a tiny bit." Like, never. I don't even feed my employees.
Require pants.
So, anyway. No, because it's always like, do you want a nice building or do you want a raise? And the employees always choose raise. So we just work out of a shed. You know? We could have a nice building, but do you want a nice building or a raise? And everyone's like, raise, but I need a shed, folks. That's the bun. Can we get a Kickstarter? KocoSports Shed? Anyway, I thought this show went a little too long. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Boom, boom. Show them why you're the best in the business.
Okay, be sure to check us out at KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass. And also be sure to check out ProWrestling.me. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's not a .com. It's ProWrestling.me. It's basically a Facebook page for professional wrestling fans. We've got a lot of great content on there. Looking at it right now, we've got show reviews. We've got the dirt sheets. We've all that courtesy of our of the internet infantry. We've seen a few several TNA stars backstage at tonight's WWE NXT taping. We'll let you know who that is. We talk about the latest on TNA headed to Pop TV, and WWE has a big signing out of Mexico. They've hired La Sombra. You can read all about that there at ProWrestling.me. You can also join LK's VIP site there at ProWrestling.me for 50 pence a month, which is
that even real money?
Yes, it is.
This is how cheap 50 pence a month is, just to really exaggerate. I couldn't even go down the road and buy a chocolate bar for 50 pence. That's how dirt cheap that is. Like, for real. And I'll give myself a little plug here. This week's Bucket Full of Waffles, obviously you guys know I'm European, okay? So Paris is literally just across a boat. I went deep. I went 30 minutes on a Bucket Full of Waffles. Dave, you'll be able to check this out. Listen to the last 10 minutes of this week's edition of Bucket Full of Waffles. I tell you what, I nearly cry. A grown man nearly breaks down crying. So that itself is worth the 50 pence per month. I promise you that. I broke down like a little bitch.
There you go. I think you should go with a crying website. Watch LK cry. There's probably a fetish for that. All right, so LK VIP, ProWrestling.me. Sign up now. KocoSports.net. It's there. And also check out Koco Plays, where I just yell about stuff and play RBI baseball. Boom Boom, you want to promote your site, Boom Boom and Stockings.net?
Signed calendars coming soon.
Exactly. I shot it in LK shed.
And that's not LK shit. That's the ProWrestling.me UK headquarters. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably be back either with a Stump the Idiot or something along those lines this weekend, and we'll be back for a Survivor Series review. Like, comment, subscribe, ProWrestling.me, KocoSports.net. I'll leave you with this. Survivor Series, it's gotta be good, right? With that, I am over. Bum, 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 ba, da, ba, da.